Hi, this is Charlie Hicks with HorseTrainingResources.com. We've been selling horse training materials, horse books, DVDs, and appliances for quite some time now. And we get literally dozens of questions all the time about how to control your horse, how to train it, how to overcome bad habits, and how to train a colt, and how to break them. And so I put this presentation together to help people understand a little bit about horse training and um, and what I call the truth about horse training, the underlying principles of training and controlling horses. And what this really is about is the basic methods of how a horse thinks and what's going on there and why we can control them. Let's look at this. An introduction first. We can learn from our past. Horses have been around for centuries, and man has been able to train and control horses for a long time and developed many good training methods. There's some bad ones out there too, and we don't adhere to any of the methods that harm the horse in any way or abuse the horse. We use only solid, good methods that don't harm horses. But we can learn a lot from what happened in the past and how people trained horses, and so from that we'll go forward. We all need to learn and grow in our knowledge about our horses and their health and how to train and control them. Coming from a position of knowledge puts you in control. The more you understand your horse, the better you understand what they think and how they're built. Will put you in a much stronger position to learn how to control them and train them. Here's a fact for you. The brain of the horse and the way he thinks and the way he learns hasn't changed. The horses that were around 1,000 years ago or 100 years ago, their brain's just the same as it is today. And so they really have not developed. Man has developed somewhat. Obviously, the whole industrial revolution and the technology we have today, we've used our brains very well, but a horse doesn't have a brain like that. So we'll talk about that more. Jesse Berry said any horse can be cured of his bad habits, and he proved that going all around the country, taking in bad horses and showing them in front of live audiences how to overcome a lot of very bad habits, and was made famous by doing that and developing his training methods. Horses, like humans, have different dispositions and require different approaches to training. Just like my 5 kids, each one learns differently. Horses are the same way. They all have different dispositions. Beery has taken these horses and put them into 4 major classifications of dispositions, and helps you understand what your horse is like, and offers different training methods on how to overcome the problems that horse has. The brain of a horse, all horses have some degree of practical intelligence, otherwise we wouldn't be able to teach them something. They all learn by experience. We'll talk about that more, about how you're fixing impressions in their brain. But many folks give way too much credit on how smart their horses are. So you must know that horses cannot reason. Sorry to burst your bubble there, but a horse cannot reason. We'll look at a couple examples of that. So a horse's brain is much different than yours or mine. They just don't have the capacity like we do, and we'll see that here in just a second. If a horse could reason, you could train him to pick up one foot, and he'd automatically realize you want to pick up the other 3, but he doesn't. The fact is, if you're going to train your horse to pick up their feet, you have to go to each one, pick up their feet, and train them to pick up that individual foot. You just can't train one. If he could reason, you could just train him to pick up one, and he'd automatically know and be able to reason that you want to pick up all the other 3 too when you get there, but it just doesn't work that way. Same way as if you're training your horse to do something on one side of your horse, on your left side, let's say, of the horse, and then you go to his right side and try the same thing. Sorry, but you got to retrain him to do that exact same thing on the other side. He learns separately from left to right, and if you don't understand that, you don't know that, then you're going to have a hard time training your horse, because you're going to assume that he knows from left and right. So a lot of misunderstandings here. An owner who thinks a horse can reason on their own is actually harming the horse. It leads to a lot of frustration, and often the owner will punish the horse for not doing what the owner assumes the horse should know. If you think he can reason and you think he should be able to figure out that you want to do something but doesn't, and you start punishing him for that, then you can do a lot of damage to that horse. and your training is going to go way slow. And probably one of the most harmful things to a horse is to be punished for something he doesn't know what the punishment is for. If you think he knows something, or you think he should know something, or be able to reason something, and you punish him for that, then he's going to be real confused, and you're going to have a mess of a horse when you try and figure out how to train him. Here's some key training principles. A man overcomes the strength of a horse by his superior knowledge of the animal. Use your brain over his brain, and you can control the strength of that animal. The key is to use your brain more than your muscle when handling a horse. If you go one-on-one with a horse in pure strength alone, he's going to win every time. So that's why you use your brain against his strength. And then use your ability to reason through cause and effect to overcome the horse's strength and lack of reasoning. That puts you in control. Training, then, is fixing habits. Training is nothing more than fixing impressions, and through repetition, they become habits. If you fix the wrong impressions, then they become bad habits. So when you teach the horse to pick up his foot, and you are successful in that, and you encourage the horse, and you praise him, and he does it for you each time through repetition, then that is fixing a good habit in that horse's brain. But if you try and pick up his foot and he resists, and you let him get by with it, and you don't punish him or bring him to task for that, and continue to do it, then you're leaving a wrong impression, and that's going to become a bad habit because he's going to resist every time. Horses do not know the difference between a bad habit and a good one. That's just, sorry, but that's the way their brain works. And a horse does not know what we want. We must fix positive habits into him to do what we want them to do. They can't read our mind, folks. So the art of horse training. If we punish a horse for doing the wrong thing and we don't train and encourage the right thing, then the horse will be confused and will end up a mess. Most bad habits are due to poor handling, poor training, and sometimes accidents. And most accidents can be avoided if the horse is handled correctly and in your control. Lots of accidents every year. Hundreds of people get hurt, maimed, and killed because their horse is not in control. So the art of horse training really is nothing more than the art of forming useful habits. It all boils down to that. And that's the key thing you need to understand when training your horse, and understanding how he thinks and how to control him. Professor Jesse Beery developed a horse training course back in the 1900s. Went all around the country training and teaching his horse training methods. He then developed a school of horsemanship in Ohio, where he taught hundreds of students and thousands of horses over the years, and very successfully. And then he developed a home training course on using these methods. It's an 8-volume course on how to train horses, and he sold that by the thousands, and many thousands of people all over the world have used his methods successfully to train their horse, and very, very successful. Even though it's 100 years old, hundreds of owners are still using these methods. HorseTrainingResources.com, that's my website, has rights to reproduce this entire course, and we offer it now in printed book form as a PDF download that may save you a few dollars, and we also have an audiobook version of that course now as well. We also offer the famous pulley breaking bridle developed by Professor Beery, and lots of owners are real excited about how well this works, and we manufacture that and sell it on our website. Beery's course is the most successful horse training course ever created. He's just done a marvelous job in creating this course, and still very, very useful today. So go to our website. We offer a full line of DVDs by many other professional trainers, as well as the Professor Beery course. And you can get 2 free reports by signing up for our list at our website. The 4 Dispositions of Horses and Introduction to Horse Training. Request that second one if you will, and we'll send it right out. So go to www.horsetrainingresources.com. See you there. Thanks for watching. Have all the best with your training. Take care.